Hi guys, welcome back to the Rose Corner YouTube channel. It's your boy Rose. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to another conversation talk on the Rose Corner. And you can see the image on the screen. You know what I'm going to talk about today. A little politics, right? We'll talk a little politics, but in particular, we are going to be talking about the People's National Party. And we're going to be talking about the state of the People's National Party here today in this video. This is what we're going to talk about today. We want to talk about the state of the PNP because I'm not sure how many of you guys watched their annual conference, which was held last Sunday at the National Arena, but it seemed to have been a conference of desperation. A lot of persons are saying that, and I agree with that statement. It seems to be the part that the PFP is on of desperation. And I'm going to say that the PNP is desperate for power. That's what that's what it is. That is what it comes down to. They are desperate of state power. Let us do a little recap. Mr. Adidja Palmer, otherwise known as Vybz Kartel. If you're watching this video for the first time, or you're watching this channel, sorry, we actually did a full video coverage conversation on the criminal case back in June, right, with Mr. Palmer. My friend and I, with Mr. Robinson, we covered that on the channel a couple months ago. But what I want to say, as you guys can see the headline, there's some PNP comrades, there's some persons within the party who believe that the Vybz Kartel can attract voters for them in the next election. But hear me. Mr. Palmer, we must understand that Mr. Palmer, this is someone, ladies and gentlemen, like him or not, the fact is, because we cannot erase history, we can only learn from history. Yeah? This is someone who was convicted and charged for the murder of Mr. Clive Lizard Williams in 2014. And in recent times, just a few months ago, the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council in London overturned that conviction because of allegations of jury misconduct in the 2014 trial, right? And so now we see Mr. Palmer walking about as a free man because of the ruling that was made in London a couple months ago on his murder conviction trial, which took place in 2014 for murder that the court said that he had committed in 2011 against Mr. Clive Lizard Williams. And how many of you know that up to this day, the body of Mr. Williams is not found, can't be found? And you know, and I know, in our conscious mind, The only person know where the remains are of Mr. Williams is the gentleman there that we're seeing in that orange kerchief. But because the people are so caught up with the admiration and love of the musical talent of Mr. Palmer, they fall as victims. Yes? And the great journalist, Mr. Cliff Hughes, commented on what we saw last week. It was an outrage of disrespect to the Jamaican people to have a man like this on a political stage, not even a year good out of prison, to come on stage at a political meeting. I think it's a disgrace. I really think it's a disgrace. But even though Mr. Palmer had served time in prison for a murder that he was charged for in the courts in Jamaica, yeah, he still has this huge following in the country and internationally. But what I've observed is that people don't appreciate what he went to prison for, but they love his music. They love his music. And that is what I believe the PNP is trying to tap into. They're trying to tap into the popularity of Mr. Palmer, yeah, to use his popularity amongst the Jamaican people to win an election. That's what it comes down to. And anybody with eyes and common sense can see that. Yeah? Can see that. And when he was convicted in 2014, nobody from the PNP wanted to associate themselves with Mr. Palmer. And now that he's out of prison, they want to gravitate towards him, to use him to help get young people to come out and vote for them, because they have an incompetent leader who can't get any support from the young people in this country. But what I believe that should have happened is that they should have waited a couple months more before bringing Mr. Palmer on a stage like that, political stage. But the PNP, they don't think before they do things, if we notice. And they think that this is going to help them in the next election. Because Mr. Palmer associates himself with the PNP, he's a PNP, and they think they can use him to get voters. So that's what I wanted to say, firstly, on the whole, Adidja Palmer attending the PNP conference last week. Now, at the PNP conference, the president of the People's National Party said that the Jamaican people must choose change. We must choose change. We must choose what change must we choose, Mark Wolin? What change must we choose? What change do you want the Jamaican people to choose? The PNP, Mark Golin's party, have been in power for over 25 years in this country. 25 years. Why didn't you do the changes during that time? Why is now when the country is on a progressive part of transformation that the PNP want to come back now and make change for the people of this country? I'm wondering what change the PNP president is promising the people. Because if anybody here that keeps up to what's happening, you will notice that year after year after year, when the budget is presented in Parliament, every year from 2016, we have not had any additional taxes on consumers in this country under the Andrew Holness administration. When Mark Golan party was in power, the last time, 2011 to 2015, the Jamaican people saw taxes on goods and produce every single year. During the last 2 years of the PNP administration, 2014, 2015, the country saw a 0.1% economic growth. 0.1%. In the last 3 years under the Jamaica Labour Party, the country has seen a 1.2% growth in this country. So which party is performing better? Which party has delivered for the Jamaican people? Year after year, we have seen the national minimum wage increase under the Jamaica Labour Party, something that never happened before under the PNP. The PNP would increase the national minimum wage on different occasions, on different periods, not every year, probably every 2 years. Why is it that now the PNP want to come and make change? And I want to point out something. Dr. Nigel Clark will be leaving office as Minister of Finance next month and will be taking up a position as Deputy Managing Director of the IMF. And the question that the Jamaican people must ask ourselves, if the JLP was doing such a poor job for this country, a terrible job, why would the IMF reach out to our minister and invite him to join the IMF in such an important role within the IMF? The director of the IMF said herself that Mr. Clark has performed exceptionally well, that has helped the Jamaican economy to rebound faster than our neighbors in the Caribbean, such as Trinidad, Bahamas, Guyana, and the list goes on. So it means, therefore, that the Labour Party government has been doing good things for the economy. The only thing I can say that the government needs to work on is crime and violence in our society, and to take a hard look at our education system that needs some restructuring, along with our healthcare system that needs further support. Yes? Let us look at the last recent poll that was done against the leader and the party. And this is why I'm saying that the PNP is desperate because everything that they've been trying to do is not working, because the Jamaican people are waking up to the crooked PNP lies, corruption, and promises. Yes?